Welcome back. Today we're testing the new Raw Hammer Hybrid. If you like what we do, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and check us out on Patreon. First impressions, the Raw Hammers offer something quite different, unique, but ultra useful. Alright, let's jump in. As I mentioned in the making video, the Raw Hammers are entry-level price balls intended to be somewhat downstream in your arsenal or for new bowlers looking for a cheap entry. Solid and Hybrid are definitely different balls, but have a very good relationship with each other. Honestly, it's probably one of the nicest relationships I've seen. But let's focus on the Hybrid. This ball is smooth, as is the Solid. The Solid is obviously smoother, but the Hybrid is not that clean, angular type of shape. I mean, yes, it's clean. However, it makes a smooth, medium strength arc as it rolls to the pocket. It's the type of ball that you can play pretty close to the friction or the cliff on the house. You don't have to cover tons of boards, and frankly, I don't think it can cover tons of boards. It's strong enough to roll when floated in the oil, while responsive enough to drive from the friction while you're in that zone, playing more direct. The smoothness of the core, this low diff core, really comes into play to make this a pretty unique option. For me, somewhere between the second and third arrow was a really good look to kind of, use the oil just inside and the friction to the outside. You could definitely see a limit right around the third arrow. That was, pretty much it in terms of how deep I could get. Testing this ball two-handed was a breeze, frankly. It really bears out how a rev-dominant style can take advantage of the smooth, more, mid-arcing type of shape. Going through the fourth arrow, it just looked really good, really easy. Some shots show off the potential for angularity, and that's always the case when you throw it slow enough with axis rotation. Other shots show the benefit of the more arcing, natural shape of the ball, and it just slices through the pins so well for me. As you've probably seen, rev-dominant styles really benefit from generally smoother shapes because the bowler style itself generate angle. You don't need a ball to generate angle on top of that. Bryan's up next, and he really saw the same thing. The Raw Hammer Hybrid didn't surprise at all. You could see the arcing nature while being clean. Sometimes you get lots of angle and over-under with that sort of quote clean angular, and hence the arcing nature of the Raw Hammers smooths that away a bit. Bryan lined up quickly and you can see the arc. At first he saw that smooth arc with the light hit carry. However, he kept seeing that. It was actually quite fun to watch. Instead of the ball creating too much angle and just kind of leaving weak or ring 10s, it arced. So it created a different entry angle from the same board and therefore created the light or scatter hit. It did move a little further right and saw a good hit, but if he was a little slow and pushed into the friction, it did go high. It probably has some limited use overall for Bryan ultimately, since we mostly ball on sport shots, but it could be an option on short patterns where that arcing nature makes sense. I see this ball as a potential in a few options. For the house bowler, it can be used early and close to the friction to keep your angles closed. For low speed, high axis rotation bowlers, I think this could be a tremendous option where their natural roll wants the ball to go sideways, but the smoothness of the ball will give them some forgiveness. For lefties, on tougher sport shots with lower volume, you could take advantage of more direct lines with balls like this. It's hard to place this squarely in a category for the arsenal. I think it's a mid-late ball, but a certain type of shape, so maybe a mid-late minus or specialty. Or if you're, all into smooth shapes in general, then mid-late is perfect. For all those reasons, I think the Raw Hammer Hybrid plus its inexpensive cost will sell itself.